Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden. I need a haircut desperately. I know. Look how long my hair is, dude. Jeez Louise. But in today's video, we're going to be going over the top 15 best cars that you could buy for less than $6,000. For those who don't know, we have started this new series, well, not new, returning series. We did it a couple years ago, but obviously the markets have changed a bit, so we decided to remaster the series, I guess you could say, for the modern markets. But the 1K to 100K series, where I give you 15 cars for every price range: 1K, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then 15, 20, 25, then 50, and then $100,000. And across all these videos, there will be 0 duplicate cars. That way you guys can get a bunch of different options, but no matter what price range that you're at, you'll always have at least 15 options to choose from. And yeah, it's a fun series. I've been having a blast with it, obviously. You guys have been seeming to enjoy it. Today we're doing 6K because obviously last video was on 5,000. Jesus. Today we're doing 5K. Last video was on 4,000. Sorry about that. I don't know why I thought we were on 6K. And this is a pretty big one. You know, $5,000. That's a big number. Yeah, I feel like people are always like, cars under 10K, cars under 5K. Those are like the two biggest numbers, I feel like. So it's a big one. I got some good cars today, I think. I think these are a lot of cars that I personally would buy that I think are cool in their own regards, all right? Media of the day is Call of Duty Ghosts, but specifically the Extinction mode where you fight aliens. Dude, I was playing it last night for a video on my other channel, and I was like, I hate this mode, you know? But it was my first time playing it since COD Ghosts came out, and I kind of had a blast. I kind of want to go play it again. I might go play it again after I'm done recording this, as a matter of fact. It was a fun time. Go play it if you have a way of playing it. But without further ado, just going into it with the top 15 best cars that you could buy under $5,000 in 2026. And coming in at the number 15 spot, it's going to be going to the Audi A4 B8s. The fact that you can find B8 A4s is insane. They do depreciate very, very quickly, A4s, so I guess it kind of makes sense. But they're like really modern, very nice cars. Like with really nice interiors and stuff that still like hold up today, and you can find them under 5K all day long. They come with a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4 making 210 horsepower, and obviously since they're an Audi, they are all-wheel drive as well. They pretty much have the same motor, and makes the same amount of power actually as the Mark 6 GTIs, while obviously not being like as fast because of the all-wheel drive system, making them a little bit heavier, but they are still really nice. They're beautiful cars. Like the B8 A4s, if you can find a B8.5 too, it's even better. Like they really are just pretty good cars. The only reason why they're all the way down here at 15th place, it's not like the most fun car on this list. They're pretty heavy with a lower horsepower number. They also tend to have some reliability issues, and when they do break, they're not fun to work on. 14th place also has some reliability issues, and it's not fun to work on when it breaks. The Mazda RX-8. The RX-8 is obviously super cool. We all like the RX-8 over here on the Mark Roden channel, but there is no denying the fact that unfortunately they are very, very high maintenance cars. And at this point, since they're almost 20, well, they are 20 years old, if it doesn't matter if you're going to maintain the car well, the previous owners of the last 20 years might not have. They come with a 1.3-liter 2-rotor rotary engine, making 212 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. They're one of the funnest cars on this list, and one of the coolest cars on this list as well. They're very, very good cars, plain and simple. I love the RX-8. If you can, like, if you could buy an RX-8 brand new from the factory in 2026, that would be awesome. Because then you can maintain it yourself and make sure it's reliable. But it's just so sketchy now. Coming in at 13th place is also starting to get a little bit sketchy in terms of actually buying one of these things, because the BMW 328i E36. The E36 chassis, I mean, it's just freaking, I would do, they're just such fun chassis, man. Lightweight as hell, perfect wheelbase. They just love to be just beaten on. And for a BMW, they're actually pretty reliable as well, not that hard to work on. They come with a 2.8-liter inline-6, making 190 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. But just like the RX-8 we were talking about earlier, these cars are over 20 years old now, and they've been molested left, right, and center, man. I mean, every person that owned the E36 before you has probably done their own little thing to it. It's just, again, it's like the RX-8. It's a car where it's like, yeah, if you could buy it brand new, this would be an amazing option. But unfortunately, these cars are 25 years old and have been owned by nothing but car enthusiasts that probably didn't really know what they were doing with them. They're super cool if you can find the right one, but it's just sketchy to find the right one. Coming in at 12th place, this is probably the first time I've ever talked about this car on my list because I didn't realize how cheap they were. The Hummer H2s. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the H1s more than the H2s, just like everyone else. Everyone likes the H1s better. But the H2s and even the H3s, I still think are just so, they have such a insane road presence. Like, everyone knows what a Hummer is. They're cool, man. They come with a 6-liter V8 making 325 horsepower, and they are 4x4s. Obviously that's a lot of horsepower. It's a massive V8, but the car itself is also extremely massive, so don't expect it to be like super fast or whatever. I have heard a little bit of horror stories when it comes to Hummers and their reliability, so I'm not going to put it too much higher than 12th place, but they're freaking, I don't care, man. They're definitely a controversial one. There's going to be people out there that are like, really? Mark Roden like CH2? Unsubscribe. But yeah, I do. I think they're kind of cool, man. They're cool little cars. I said cool little cars. They're the complete opposite of a little car. They're cool, massive trucks. 11th place, though, is going to be going to the Acura RSX Type S. I was looking for an RSX Type S before I bought my Integra, so you know how much I love the RSX, man. I want one so bad. But unfortunately, under 5K in 2026, they are sketchy to look at. They come with a 2-liter inline 4 making 201 horsepower, and they are front-wheel drive. Plain and simple, the RSX is great. It's very similar actually to the E36 and the RX-8 we talked about earlier. Super cool car, one of the coolest cars on today's list, but everyone knows that, and so everyone bought them, and they all molested them, and now they're all just scary and sketchy to actually buy. That's the reason why I bought my Integra, dude. I went to look at like 3 different RSX Type S's when I was trying to buy my Integra. Every one of them had hidden problems that like wasn't visible on Facebook Marketplace. Drove like an hour to go look at it, and it was just a nightmare. It's sad, but again, if you can find the right one, this is an incredible deal. It's just hard to find the right one. However, breaking its way into the beautiful number 10 spot, the top 10 here, ladies and gents, it's going to be going to the Jeep Wrangler TJ Hunt. The Jeep Wrangler, the Wranglers nowadays, they have a little bit of a sketchy reputation, whether it be the owners putting all the rubber ducks on their dash and never ever taking their Wranglers off-road, so they're just like completely pointless and then buying it, or their actual reliability nowadays is also kind of sketchy. But back in the day, these things were just perfect. They come with a 4-liter inline 6 making 190 horsepower, and they are 4x4. Here's a little bit of a fun fact about the TJ Wrangler. It is literally impossible, I'm pretty sure at this point, to find a TJ Wrangler without rust. And that's the reason why it's not any higher. This motor is insanely reliable. It's a cool vehicle. Again, it's definitely an acquired taste. If you don't like Jeeps and stuff, then fair enough, but I think most people would agree that the TJ Wrangler is a cool vehicle. It could go off-road. It does its job perfectly. That's what it's meant to do, and it does it great. They're awesome trucks. Cars, SUVs, I don't know what you would call them, if they weren't rotting out. Every one of them is like 250,000 miles. Coming in at 9th place, though, ladies and gentlemen, is the Audi TT first gen. I've never been the biggest fan of the looks of the first gen TTs, but there is no denying the fact that the Audi TT first gen is a very, very good budget option for under 5K in the big 2.6. They also kind of flew under the radar a little bit, and nobody really bought them, so it's actually not even that hard to find like a pretty clean one under 5K. The car comes with a 1.8-liter turbocharged inline 4 making 170 horsepower, and it is all-wheel drive. It does have that quattro all-wheel drive system to it. And yeah, pretty much these things are just, like I said, just really good. Like they're pretty much Mark IV GTIs, but all-wheel drive. That honestly, in my opinion, look a little better. I do actually think they look unique. The Audi TT again never really got its time to shine in the car community. So everyone that owned them too were older people. So most of them are in still pretty decent condition as well. It's a good option. And coming in at the number 8 spot, ladies and gentlemen, is the Subaru WRX Bug-Eye. Now the Bug-Eye is kind of disrespected in the car community. People don't like how the front end of them looks, and don't get me wrong, I definitely think they're one of the weaker, but I still think they're cool. I do still think they're really cool cars. They come with a 2-liter turbocharged flat 4 making 225 horsepower, and they are all-wheel drive. Plain and simple, man, they're just good. For under 5K, it's definitely going to be hard to find one, don't get me wrong, and the one that you do find might have a little bit of rust. These are all-wheel drive cars, so they're used a lot in the winter, and so obviously the salt gets up in there. It's a little bit of a sketchier one, not as sketchy as like the RSX, E36, or the RX-8, but definitely not perfect anymore, and so it is definitely still worth knowing what you're doing before going and look at them, but they are cool if you can find a good one. And here she blows. There she blows, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in at 7th place is going to be going to the Mazda Miata NA. The NA Miata, man. Here she is. Miata is always the answer, as everyone says, but I feel like that saying is becoming less and less true as the years go on here in the car community, because they're just becoming really expensive, man. They are still good cars for under 5K, man. I still have here at 7th place, but I think they're definitely starting to get a little bit outclassed. They come with a 1.8-liter inline 4 making 135 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. And as crazy as it is to say this, it is kind of actually hard to find a decent NA Miata under 5K in 2026. I remember back when, literally maybe 4 years ago, it wasn't even that long ago at all, you could find a NA Miata for under 2K that was pretty damn decent. Nowadays, it's just they're just flying up in price. A very, very quick appreciating car. That is one good thing about it, though, is if you do buy one, chances are you'll make money on it in the long run, because people are just buying these things for stupid money nowadays. They're really fun cars, obviously, for those who don't know, and they're very reliable, that are really cool looking. Not the best daily driver, though, obviously. Coming in at 6th place. See, this is like, I'm going to make a lot of people mad when I say this. People are going to get very upset when I say this. But this is why the NA Miata is at 7th and not like 3rd or 2nd or 1st like it used to be. Because for under if I had $5,000 in my hand right now and I was forced to buy a car for under 5K, I'm buying a Ford Mustang GT SN95 over the Miata all day, every day. These cars are just, in my opinion, so much more fun. They come with a 4.6 liter V8 making 260 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. They're just as reliable as the Miata we were talking about earlier, with almost double the horsepower as the Miata. They're both rear-wheel drive. It obviously is a lot heavier than the Miata. That's the big upside to the Miata. That's the big selling point on the Miata, is their little go-karts. But this thing, man, I would just love to just burn the tires off an SN95 Mustang GT. By the way, SN95 and New Edge, they're the exact same thing. You can find both of them under 5K. Whichever one you like, whichever one you prefer, go for that one. I would personally go for the SN95. I think it looks a little bit cooler, but again, personal preference. And that's not even true. I feel like the SN95 and New Edge, again, technically the New Edge is an SN95, but either way, I go back and forth on which one I think looks cooler every single day. They both look really cool though. All right, and coming in at 5th place, definitely is not anywhere near as fun as most of the cars we've been talking about on today's list, but it's just, I mean, it's just like, if you're looking for just a point A to point B vehicle, this is what you get. The Ford Ranger, the 2nd generation Ford Ranger. These things are just perfect. They are just the perfect daily driver in the big 2.6. Two of my friends that aren't into cars have them because I recommended to buy them. They were like on a really strict budget, and they're like, dude, I just need something to get me to work and back. I recommended the Ranger, and both of them always thank me for it because it just never stops going. They come with a 4 liter V6 making 190 horsepower, and they are of course 4x4s. You can do whatever the hell you want in a Ford Ranger, man. You can do whatever you want in a Ford Ranger besides take a corner fast. Everything else you could do, well, and go in a straight line fast. It's not a race car is what I'm trying to say. Everything else, it can do it great. And coming in at 4th place, y'all already know I'm a BMW fanboy at heart, but even you guys, even the guys that don't like BMW, usually are like, yeah, all right, I got to admit, that's a good one. The BMW 540i E39 for under 5K is just dandy. It is just dandy. These things come with a surprising 4.4 liter V8 making 286 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Again, every time I recommend the E39 on this channel, even BMW haters admit it, that these cars truly are just very good cars for under 5K. They're just so gosh darn reliable. Especially for a German V8, I mean, good lord. Now, obviously, they're pretty heavy. They're not the sportiest car on today's list. They have a lot of body roll when you're trying to make them sporty, as a matter of fact. But, I mean, they still do have 286 horsepower. Like, these things, you do some weight reduction on them, they can be fun if that's what you're going for. I wouldn't recommend them if that's what you're going for. I wouldn't say that's the number one option here, but they're just such a good combo. They're like the Ford Ranger, but cooler. But, I mean, personally, I think if you're just looking for a nothing strictly, like you're a car guy though that's looking for strictly a daily driver in the big 2.6, I think the Honda Accord 8th generation for under 5K is probably the best option. I really do. I think because, again, as a car guy, you kind of want something that's a little bit cooler. You tell yourself that you're just going to buy a daily, but you know deep down that you're buying something that you kind of like. And so this is cool, while also just being insanely good for a daily driver. They come with a 3.5 liter V6 making 271 horsepower, and they are front wheel drive. That's decent horsepower, man. Yes, they're a little bit heavy compared to like the Civic, obviously. Still not super heavy though. And 271 horsepower. Yes, you can find the V6 under 5K. And they look pretty decent. I like the 8th gen Accords. I think they look pretty nice. Obviously, you have to modify them. Otherwise, you just look like a grandma car, but once you modify them a little bit, they look really good. They're just reliable as hell with plenty of space, good on gas. Like, there's no downsides to them. However, coming in at 2nd place, the second best car you can buy under 5K in 2026, in Mark Roden's humble opinion, is going to be going to the Lexus IS300. Oh, I love the IS300. I made a poll on my... has something stuck in my mouth. I'm sorry about that. On my YouTube channel a couple years ago, actually, and asking you guys what car you would like to see me build next, like in real life. The IS300 actually won, which was surprising. They come with a 3 liter inline 6, making 225 horsepower, and they are rear wheel drive. They're one of the funnest cars on this list, hands down. They're very lightweight, short wheelbase, pretty decent horsepower out of the factory, but you can get more because it's a 2J. There's no rear wheel drive. It is pretty much impossible to find a manual under 5K nowadays. It is worth mentioning. So unfortunately, you are going to have to get the automatic, but even that's still going to be plenty of fun. And eventually, if you really want to go through the headache and do it yourself, you could, I guess, do a manual swap. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't say it's like the easiest thing out there, but you could, I guess. But they're just really cool cars, and they're pretty easy to find under 5K. But first place, my VQ boy, takeover boy at heart, is talking. He's coming out to play pinball with my Uvula, because first place, in my opinion, the best car under $5,000 in 2026 is the Infiniti G35 Coupe. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry though, actually. You know what? I take that back immediately. I'm not sorry. I love the G35 coupes because I love VQs. Yes, I do. They come with a 3.5 liter V6, making 287 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. Listen, VQ haters, I understand that the community behind VQs is annoying. I agree. I 100% agree. As a matter of fact, I was a part of that community, dude. When I bought my 350Z, I was a nightmare. I would have hated myself. But you cannot deny that the cars themselves are extremely good. For the price they're extremely good. I mean, this is a reliable as hell V6, one of the most reliable V6s we've ever seen, literally. That's a pretty high revving, making almost 300 horsepower. Yes, they're heavier cars. I think they weigh like 3,800 pounds, which is pretty crazy. But everything else about them is just awesome, and they look really good. Like, the G35 coupe looks awesome. They're so fun to drive, and you can easily find these under 5K all day long. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video, going over the top 15 best cars that you can buy for less than $5,000 in 2026. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what you'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels, and you have that great mumbo jumbo. And thank you guys so much. Did you think your phone froze? Just kidding, you fool. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow's video is going to be how to build the 4th gen Prelude. We're going to be building the 4th gen Prelude tomorrow. And then obviously after that, we'll be doing the under 7K, or no, see, why do I think, I keep thinking that today is a 6K video. I don't know why I keep thinking today is under 6K. The episode after that will be on the under 6K budget, because today is 5K. If I accidentally title the video under 6K, I'm gonna lose it. But nonetheless, yeah, that's the plan going forward. That's the agenda going forward on the Mark Roden channel. Let me know what other videos I see in the comment section down below. I am still eventually trying to get to a point where I can build a car for you guys again. It's either gonna be an IS300, because again, you guys said you wanted to see that, or an SC400. Because I feel like they're pretty close, and I'm going to be honest, I like the SCs a little bit better. Just a little bit, though. Not, like, super, like, way better, but I just love how SCs look, man. SCs are such cool little cars. So maybe that. I don't know. We'll see. But I do want to do that eventually one day. You guys keep asking me, you should build another car, like, in real life, not like the how to build video. You like, in real life, build a car. I agree, man, and I have a lot of fun doing it, obviously. Building cars is cool. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll have to wait and see. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.